As Bitcoin marches on, where's it going to stop? Well, let's dive straight into it. Welcome and thank you for joining me on Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Sunday. I hope you're all well and you've enjoyed your weekend. All right, I've got some rather shocking looking red rectangles. That's not triangles, got full sides. Rectangles. And I'll explain those in moments few. But before I do that, as it's now coming into the end of Sunday, I wanted to check on the weekly, and the weekly closure for Bybit looks stonking. That is a bullish candle, looking very impressive, even more bullish, well, no, a little bit more bullish than the CME closure that happened on Friday. So depending on where it closes, there may be a little mini gap appearing on the CME chart, because CME closed at 67.5, and at the moment Bitcoin on Bybit is up around 68,000, so this price here. So yeah, it could be a little gap. And as we discussed in yesterday's video, it looks like this gap might not be filled anytime soon. But I wonder if the one that's likely to occur between 67.5 and wherever Bybit closes probably will. Anyway, for a bit more information, I'm going to drop down to, and it also looks like with the closure of this weekly candle on Bybit, the weekly momentum on the MACD will turn back to the upside. And it will continue rising with a good buffer of sort of nearly $2,000. So, you know, it's not like full bull, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Certainly a lot better than the situation was 3 weeks ago. All right, so daily time frame, and you can see these crazy boxes I've got on here. Well, what on earth are they all about, Simon? This one is what I think is the significant support resistance for Bitcoin on the higher time frames. I think the weekly too, although you might suggest that the weekly goes down a bit further, but certainly the daily time frame and below, as this is a support resistance rectangle, and I'm going to suggest that on that same time frame, so the daily or higher, this is that's the support, and this is the resistance. So an area somewhere between 71.5 and the current all-time high, which is, you know, high 73s. And Bitcoin continues to march its way up there. Now, if I take just 2 seconds of your time, and I appreciate your time, by the way. If you enjoy this kind of video, this kind of price action analysis, please like and subscribe. That would be marvelous. Why can't I move this tool out? Whoa, I don't want to do that. And nearly deleted the whole thing. There we go, that's moved. So if I take a measuring tool and just go from the bottom of my resistance to the top of my support, you see the midpoint is nicely on the support resistance area at 63. It's basically 60, just call it, if you want it as a line, call it 63 and change. That's an obvious support resistance area here and indeed here. And so I would suggest to you that if Bitcoin can maintain daily closures back above there, or even 4 hour, but a few 4 hours, then the longer it stays up here in this half of the range, so this half of the range above that area, 63 and above, the longer it can stay up there, the more likely it will be that it breaks above this resistance and then goes on to new all-time highs. But trying to figure out when that occurs, I don't know. But I'm just going to watch the price and see where it does. As I kind of said in yesterday's video, if I grab a little drawing tool quickly here, what would look good would be this sort of thing, because that would be kind of consolidation knocking its head up against resistance multiple times and more likely to break through. So that would look really good. What wouldn't look good would be a quick move up followed by a quick move down, and particularly if that quick move down broke below this midpoint, which is coming in, it's like somewhere between 64 and 63,000. And those would all be for daily or above closures. As you can see at the moment, what gives you a bias, or what gives me a bias on those two potential outcomes, i.e. up or down, would be the momentum. And the daily momentum is clearly to the upside of the zero line, is quite far away, and it'll continue rising above 64,000. So that's got a good buffer. The 4 hour, a little check in on that. So price was up here yesterday, and I suggested the longer it goes sideways, the more likely it will be to make the next move to the upside, and it looks like that's happening. So that's kind of going according to plan. I did comment on the divergence that was appearing between the momentum high here and here. Well, I did, if you remember, I did say that that can only become the case if Bitcoin pulls back in a meaningful way from where it is, thus making this making this a high rather than just a grind to the upside, which it certainly looks like it is at the moment, although with a bit of what could be, depending on the closure, more of an impulsive element to it coming up. So yeah, I think, continuation to the upside at the moment seems to be on the cards. I'm in no doubt whatsoever that Bitcoin will pull back at some point. But, you kind of think, is Bitcoin just going to do kind of more of this kind of price action where, you can't see obvious highs and lows. Well, you can. No, that's the wrong statement. You can, but they're not like big pullbacks from the main trend. So I do wonder if this was a significant pullback that was a Fibonacci level, but I wonder if it might just grind up like this, but to the upside rather than downside. And who knows? We'll see. Only time will tell. So yeah, more upside I think before more downside. It would make perfect technical sense for Bitcoin to get up towards 71 without a significant pullback. I think that's asking a bit much within a consolidation area, but you never know. You never know. And at 8 minutes long, valuing your time, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to call it a night. And if you have enjoyed it, please join me for tomorrow for Monday. And we'll see where Bybit closes, see what that gap's like on the CME chart. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Goodbye.